Hello, welcome back to my page. Harmony Lives in Me. My name is Christine, and I will be doing another video. And I will call this video, I Want to Know Peace. How many of us want to live in peace and harmony? I know I do. This meditation go on to say, I found it very interesting. It said, I will know peace when I become teachable. You know, some people are not teachable. They do not want people telling them anything. They think they know it all. But I consider myself a very teachable person. But I have to use my own discerning spirit that God has given me as a Christian to know which information to use and not to use, of course. You have to have a discerning spirit. You gain a discerning spirit by reading the Word of God. And it go on to say, there is a very simple way to create space for peace to exist in your mind. The way is to admit what you don't know. Many of us reach the age, usually around 30, when we realize that there are some things we need to know that we don't know. That's not the problem, because nobody knows everything. The problem is the common first response to this realization is fear. Fear because you don't know something. I never had that problem. But evidently, there is a problem with some people that if they don't know something, it becomes fearful. Fear is usually followed by embarrassment and shame. When pressed to demonstrate your knowledge on an issue you have no knowledge of, you will probably lie because you are fearful of not knowing something. So you end up lying. You will lie because you are afraid, ashamed, or embarrassed to admit that you don't know what others think you should know. I think that's ludicrous. What's wrong with not knowing something? But there are some people that live this way. Let's face it, some of us miss some of the basic living fundamentals. Okay, I have to say, one time my son admitted to me that this is my oldest son. He was one that I had issues with, problems when he was a juvenile and skipping school, wasn't doing his work, wouldn't bring his books home, wouldn't do his homework and all that stuff. So he told me once he was older, much older, that he didn't know how to read. Now, mind you, he was making passing grades. I don't know how he did that because I would go over his words with him, spelling words, and he would pass that. But he told me he did, maybe because we went over and over until he perfected it and he was spelling his words when he went back to school. But he admitted to me that he didn't know how to read. So this would be something like the basic living fundamentals. But he learned himself how to read. Oh, he's been back in college and he reads fine, good to me now. But at one time, he didn't know how to read. So he was embarrassed. He told me he was ashamed. He lied, and the teacher asked him to read something in the classroom. And what did he say? Oh, he said he never raised his hand or something, or he didn't feel comfortable because he didn't know how to read. So these are some things that people, what other things maybe? I mean, this has never been my problem because, of course, I was smart in school. I knew basic living fundamentals. But it go on to say it is perfectly okay to not know something. It's all right. I know I didn't know everything. I'm the kind of person, if I don't know something, I'm going to ask questions. My mama used to tell me that I asked too many questions. But all through school, all through college, my nursing career, I asked questions. I didn't care. I wanted to know. And the best way to know is to ask questions. So, but it's saying here it's okay. What you don't know won't hurt you unless you try to cover up the fact that you don't know. When you do that, the lie used as cover will eat you alive. No one will think poorly of you when you don't know, unless you try to convince them that you do not know what you don't know. When you do that, there will be hell to pay. You start lying, you have to keep lying. The hell is in your mind. It is the hell of living with the fear that you will be found out. So, tell one lie, you got to tell another one to keep from being found out. You can survive the fear, shame, and embarrassment of not knowing by simply acknowledging that you don't know. If you do so with a willingness to learn, people will probably have a great deal of respect for your courage. All of this has to do with knowing peace. Peace is you just got to be honest. You got to tell the truth. You can't be fearful or embarrassed of not knowing something. Until today, you may have been afraid to acknowledge, admit, or accept that there are some things about life and living that you simply don't know. You may not have realized that the only way not knowing can hurt you or be used against you is when you try to hide it. Just for today, be willing to admit to yourself that you don't know. That simple act will open your heart and mind so that you can learn what you need to know. You know, until I read this meditation, I didn't even think something like this even really exists or people had problem with. Because, like I said, myself, I never considered myself. I never had a problem with not knowing. Like I said, I'm the kind of person that I'm going to ask questions. But this meditation tied the title with I will know peace when I become teachable. So, and that's one thing about me going back to asking questions. You have to ask questions if you don't know something. You have to be teachable. You have to be honest with yourself about not knowing and not be embarrassed because nobody knows everything. Only one person, and that is God. He is all knowing. And at the end, this meditation with, today I am devoted to opening my mind to learn what I need to know. Wow. How I wouldn't have never put those two together of people not knowing something with peace. Because once you feel like that you have to lie about something you don't know, you end up having to cover it up because you're ashamed and embarrassed and you're fearful. So you end up telling a lie. And one lie leads to another lie. And that's no way you want to live either. We all want to live in peace. We all should be teachable because we are never going to know everything. I don't care how many books you read, how many times you read the Bible. You learn something every time you read that. You learn something new. Something else is revealed to you every time you read that same verse. It depends on what phase of your life you're in. Thank you for coming to my page. I enjoyed this meditation. And just be teachable. Admit what you don't know. It will give you peace. You can check me out on Amazon.com. I write to inspire, motivate, and encourage women and men too, of course. And you can check my books out on there. And I am very appreciative of the people that have been buying my books lately. Go back and purchase another book. You will be inspired. You will be encouraged. You will be motivated. Thank you. Have a blessed day.